Reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network. You're listening to LotRO Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com.
Welcome to LotRO Reporter episode 244. Tonight I am joined by a very, very, very special person who is not Layanor.
What?
Well, you're here, but you're here every week.
My mom tells me I'm special, though.
Mom says you're special. Does she put your name in your shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, you're really very special.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're joined by Braag Son of Balin this evening.
Hello, folks. Welcome and thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you on the show. One of the reasons we are having you on the show is you have started your own podcast, so we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we wanted to have you come on and talk about your podcast because the more LotRO podcasts out there, the better.
You better not have pants on.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
The more LotRO podcast, the better is a subjective term, but I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good thing.
Yeah. All right. So, yes. And of course, I am Cari, your host. I don't think I said my name. I just assumed everybody by now in 100 episodes would know who I am. But no, I'm Golden Star.
Yes.
No wonder you mispronounced my name.
Yeah. Oh, all right. What is it? I will get it right for the rest of the show if you tell me how to pronounce it now.
It's Braag. No, I'm just kidding.
Braag.
Just Braag is fine. I am a dwarf, though, so if you growl when you say it, that works.
Okay.
Okay, Cari, growl. Do it.
I can huff. I don't know if I can growl. Braag.
There you go.
Sounded more like Gollum than anything. All right. And we've gone off our rails already.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. All right. So let us start. Layanor, what have you been doing in game?
Well, for some reason it's still here, but I am level 100 still. It's written right here still for about 3 weeks straight now.
It's gone away. Bye.
Deleted.
You're back to level 1.
Oh, we're gonna have some words.
Mm-hmm.
I have started my turbine point farming guide, and I have to say, I was telling Cari this earlier last week. I know the game too well, and I know how to get turbine points too well. And this may turn into a farming turbine points as a factory guide.
Oh, wow.
So this is looking pretty good. I got some key things going on right now. I just need to figure out places and how long it takes. And I need to just kind of nail everything down, get a good framework of how this guide is going to go, and then totally put it out. Because at that point, when you got all those key things done, you can just knock it out, and there you go, guys. So I'm working pretty hard on that. I've been working for about 5 days on that now.
Wow.
Let's see, what else have I been doing? Everybody is doing OD right now, and I have been doing some of that. They've been farming for first stagers. I can't remember the name of it.
Ostanoth, yeah.
Yes.
So did the rate drop after patch 14.1?
I don't know. I would say no.
Okay.
But and people were telling me, like, we gotta go do this before they the stop the first stagers drop rate, and I was like, this is the third time they would have done it then.
Yes, that is something somebody pointed out on Twitter. This is like
It was
with
the last
every
time and the other
update.
time and
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like the
They
every.
they they would have did it, so
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like Bob unchecks the box that says give lots of first stagers, and they have to go in and or don't give lots of first stagers. They have to go in and have to recheck the box in the next update.
Yeah, I doubt that really happens. So I got to do that, and there is an instance that everybody's calling the essence farming instance, which is one of the first story instances in Gondor where you fight a ring wraith and about 6 animals.
What?
That's
There's
about
a
it.
ring wraith? I
Yep.
haven't gotten that far yet.
So
What kind of animals? Do they have weasels or
Ooh, I want giant weasels.
there's crows, bears, and I think something else on the ground. I can't remember what it was.
swan? Maybe a swan?
Not a squirrel, that's for sure.
How about the white rabbit?
So they access it through the reflecting pool and just run it endlessly?
Yes, they do, over and over and over. And it's giving level 100 essences, so
Oh,
cool.
That's cool. That is cool.
Better get in there quick. Turbine will shut that off pretty soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten any essences. I get bit essences. I don't need bit. I'm a mini, and I get agility essences. I don't need agility. I'm a mini. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these essences, but they're just sitting in my bags with most of the other stuff that I get that just sits in my bags. All right, Braag. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on. You have written us a couple of times, right?
Yeah, I've definitely been a fan of the majority of the LotRO community podcasts out there for some time, and I think writing in is to interact with the folks that have done those podcasts is kind of one of the hints to myself that I really wanted to get a little more involved in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Just really enjoyed those interactions and kept thinking, maybe someday I'll give this a shot. Maybe someday I'll give this a shot, and because as you listen, I think most people that listen to the podcast, they feel like that's why people come to the chat room. It's the personalities are so much fun, and you want to be involved. You feel like you want to contribute, and you have something to say.
That is awesome. So tell us a little bit about your gaming history in general, MMOs in particular.
Ooh, how far to go back? Well, started with Peekaboo, and this little piggy went to market and went on PvP games like Tiddlywinks and Hopscotch.
And freeze tag and all that good stuff, yeah.
Okay, so as far as video games are concerned, you should have been more specific. I remember my family having a Pong game when I was really, really young.
Oh, geez.
Then in television, then Commodore 64. Probably the first real games I ever got exposed to on a Commodore 64.
I never had one of those. I
awesome.
always wanted one.
Fun stuff. Apple 512K Mac in college, where I played Dark Castle, and my first exposure to Doom. And started picking up, random Lord of the Rings games here and there, the Battle for Middle Earth, some of the simulation games, and stuff like that. Right now I have a Wii and a PS3 for consoles, and, got a couple kids, so I like to get on the consoles and play with the kids sometimes. But it was really, LotRO was my first MMO, and I didn't even know what an MMO was when I saw the advertisements for it first come out. I think they were talking about, the upcoming release of Moria. So I've been in the game since a couple months before the Moria release, maybe 6 months before. And, when I read about it, the more I read about it, the more excited I got. I played Dungeons and Dragons growing up. I think my profile is pretty much symptomatic of 90% of the people in the game. Played Dungeons and Dragons growing up, huge Tolkien, Lord of the Rings fan in the family, had the Rankin Bass animated version of The Hobbit memorized with my sisters, and
Where there's a whip, there is a way.
I don't want to go to Lord today.
Profits.
We could go on, but we won't. So Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, and video games, put those all in a pot, stir them together, and you got a recipe for excitement. And I quickly became, head over heels addicted to the game, playing, way more than I should when I first logged in. Lost a lot of sleepless nights exploring Middle Earth, and before I found some balance.
Yeah.
So I'd never really played other MMOs until LotRO, and it was really a couple of years after I'd been in LotRO before I even tried any others. It was mostly exposure from listening to other podcasts that got me interested in at least installing and trying a few.
Okay.
So I've got Star Trek Online right now installed on my computer.
Yay.
So I just dabbled around with it. What I find, and well, let me talk about the others first. So I do have DDO installed on as well, and messed around with that a bit. I figured that would be something I'd be very interested in, although I found kind of the depth of the metrics and the systems to be somewhat bewildering, even for someone that's played the game before. And then I caught Secret World on a Steam sale and had really been thinking about that one for a while based on other people's reviews of how different it was and what a kind of a different experience from all the space and fantasy MMOs out there. So what I found is those other games are fun, but there's nothing like being totally head over heels enmeshed in an MMO and understanding all the rules and all the places and all the systems. And it's hard to play an MMO part-time, right? So I only ever get so far with the other ones while I'm playing LotRO. It's bad enough I spend as much time playing LotRO as I do. If I started doing that in other MMOs, I'd be in real trouble. So So it's a nice backup for when the LotRO servers are down, or when I really need to change of pace, no contents come out for a few months or something along those lines. So, LotRO, I've got a number of characters at no characters at level cap currently.
Oh, okay.
Just because the premiere of the new content with the Past of the Dead came out at a time when I was going on summer vacation and had other weekends away, and really my time in game has been really limited since the release. But my main character, Braag, is level 98 currently, sitting on a cliff above the Bay of Belfalas. And hang on just one second.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay, there we go. Level 99, and I gained a class trait point. Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Was waiting to turn in that quest since I just finished it right before we started.
So
my main is 99, and I'm can't wait. I think Dol Amroth is probably the next step.
Have you seen it yet?
Just across the waters. I've been really trying to be good and not spoil the story, and follow the landscape the way Turbine kind of would like me to, based on how they lay out things.
Mm-hmm.
I've got plenty of alts that'll be coming through where I can hop, skip around and get to the end of the story. But the first time through with my main, I always try to kind of respect where they're directing me so that I can consume the storyline. I find if you start skipping around, you get quests that are not don't have continuity, especially in Western Rohan. If you ran to Helm's Deep and picked up a quest line there, there's all kinds of things going on out of sequence, and it gets confusing from a story perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. Exactly.
But I've got a mini captain, hunter, and lore master all near level cap that'll be heading into Gondor soon, and a burglar kind of a few levels behind in the low 80s, I think, and then all the other classes somewhere in the 30s and 40s.
Cool. That's cool. I have many alts. None of them are near as high as my other one. So you said that you had interacted in emails and contacting the different podcasts. So you decided to step out and try to do podcasting on your own. And I've noticed yours is a little bit different than what like we do with the news and things like that. So tell us a little bit about what direction you decided to go with your podcast.
Well, I think every podcast that's out there that I listen to, is a little different and adds a little something different. They have a different tone, they have different subject matter, they have different personalities, and the news is being done extensively that's coming out from Turbine. There's lots of primers out there like LotRO Academy. There's lots of community-centered podcasts like LotRO Player News and taking the place of CSTM. And the one piece that I felt was maybe a bit underserved from the podcast that I was talking about was just getting a bit more in depth in the locations of the game, favorite quests, a little more depth maybe. I didn't want to do dungeon guides where I sit there and say, let's go through GS. You take a left and you beat up the troll and then you cross the bridge. But I wanted to get a bit more depth than I'd heard in some of the other podcasts, just because when people talked about content and didn't go down to that level, I felt myself, saying I think I would enjoy hearing that one extra layer about the game and about some of the places in the game that comes from, knowing it, I feel to be fairly well. I mean, I know there's tons of players in the game that know it way better than I do that have been here since the beginning and play 20 hours a day and so forth. But I do feel like I'd be afraid to share my played time statistics across all my characters. Certainly don't want my family to know about them. So
yes, we won't make you admit to anything on the podcast. Not an intervention, we promise.
I do like how you do cover like a lot of things. It seems to be a little bit of everything, which is great. It's a little bit of LotRO Reporter and LotRO Players and Father Roderick's Secrets of Middle Earth, and it's all just wrapped up really nice in one show. And it doesn't focus on something really long. You hit the nail on the head on a lot of things, and you come up with a really good topics too, kind of like how Braxwolf does his show. And you do a really, really good show, and I enjoy it a lot.
Oh, thank you so much. It's I really didn't know what to expect, and I think I'm still developing a style and trying to figure out. I find I'm getting sillier as I go too, so maybe I'm loosening up with it.
I love the advertisements.
Oh, the advertisements are fantastic.
Yeah, that was something no one else was doing, right?
Yeah, those are fantastic. I died laughing. I listened to podcasts on the bus. You got me in trouble just about as bad as MMO Reporter gets me in trouble with funny things on the bus.
Oh, that Harry.
Oh yeah, I love anything from Harry. I wish I heard more of him. You need to get him back on your show. Is he doing some of the other MMO Reporter podcasts?
Just the one.
Okay.
Just the one still, yeah.
Yeah. Now if you know Dutch, I do believe he does a Dutch podcast, but I don't speak Dutch, so it's not gonna help. All right.
So yeah, I would love to hear more of it. You need to get him back on LotRO Reporter just to guest in occasionally.
It's pretty funny.
I do miss, that was one of Chris's hallmarks is he would play a few of the Harry clips and mix them into the show. I miss some of those. They would crack me up every time.
Yeah, you should just listen to MMO Reporter. I think the last thing that cracked me up was the way he got his new television. That was probably 10, 15 episodes ago. It involved a cat and stuff like that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Calm the F down.
Yep.
All right. Now, we've talked all about your podcast. What is the name of your podcast?
Light the Beacons. I do have a website at lightthebeacons.com where I publish the content. It's a very bare bones, no frill website. I mean, one of the things I promised myself was that I would do kind of the bare minimum to get content out. I think the podcast for me is the more important piece rather than having an active and pretty blog. So right now it's very bare bones. It's available on iTunes and really that's about it right now. Could expand to some other platforms over time, but I think that was the biggest and easiest audience to get attached to right away. And I named the podcast just I was trying to think about communication methods in the game, and Palantir was taken.
Yep.
One of my favorite sequences from the movies is doesn't even involve any of the characters. It's from the Return of the King when they light the beacons of Gondor. Pippin lights the beacons of Gondor, and the music swells and sweeps across the mountains. And it's just a powerful scene. Was always one of my favorites. Kind of always made me get choked up when I was watching the movie. So I stole that music and kind of evolved the idea to have each beacon be a different topic area each week to keep things moving along.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. With the Palantir, Palantir's been used all over the place. It's to the point where I see Sauron just sitting down with a bowl of Captain Crunch and watching Netflix on it.
You almost made me spill my beer. That was. That's good. Yeah, I can picture. Yeah, exactly, like a row of Palantirs in a appliance store window, all with different shows going
through the Palantir. Yes, exactly.
There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones, there's HD.
All right. Well, I have been questing in Gondor. I'm to the second quest hub, where I get to run around and pick up rocks and kill Arvex and calm down people. So it's kind of fun. I hit level 97 yesterday, and then I did the 3-mans, which we'll talk about in a little while, and that was not fun. But we'll talk about that in a little while.
So, Cari, I think you're on the cusp of getting to, the first few towns in Gondor are a very different feel. I think they did a great job of kind of expressing the different architecture, but I think it was either Columbell or Lemidin, the first town I got to in Gondor where I felt like this is Gondor. This is like, ancient sweeping buildings instead of, wooden piled villages.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me excited.
Yeah. I've got a quest that takes me to Lemidin, and I think that's how I heard them pronounce it on the Twitch stream. So that will fix me if I'm not right. And I cannot wait to get there. I did get to see Dol Amroth while I was on the live stream with the producers, and I won't spoil it for you, Braag, but I literally it took my breath away the first time they ported me in, and I went, whoa.
Yeah, it'd been a while since I've seen a town that I could get lost in, where I wasn't sure which way to go, and I love that feeling in the game. Shades of Minas Tirith, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, when I traveled to the main town in Gondor, it was from Bree, and it was right there at the bottom. I could spend 1 mithril coin to go there and discover the stable there.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it. And I was like, I'll just go there real quick and I can get the stable. And I immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
Because I looked around and I was like, oh, it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I cheated to get here.
I approached this from the road. Ah, dang
and
it.
I cheated. Now I feel guilty.
This is really, really regretting that.
Well, why? Yeah. And I watched the Hobbit trailer, and according to Peter Jackson, there are war goats. So I don't know why I can't have war goats in game.
Oh, we're gonna now.
It's in the Hobbit.
It's in the Hobbit.
I know many lore people are just rolling around on the floor groaning, and I am completely joking, but there were war goats in the trailer. I saw them. They had armor and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah, I thought they were wargs when I first saw them. I was looking on my phone, and when I got to a bigger screen, I'm like, those are goats. What the heck?
No, war goats. It was so awesome.
It's Dane Ironfoot, not Dane Ironhoof.
So apparently Peter Jackson listens to our show and decided war goats would be awesome.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies trailer came out a couple of days ago, and it was pretty cool. I don't see a whole lot of book appropriateness in the trailer, but that's okay. I've given up on that and just decided to take them as fun romps of movies and leave it at that.
Braag, can you say, let's light the first beacon?
Yeah. How does that go again? I don't remember that line. Let's light the first beacon.
So there were no updated forum posts from the Shield runs. I'm assuming Frickin' Muck has been on vacation or something, so we will catch those when those are done. The Shield run dates have been updated to finish faster. Sapiens is starting his new job on August 1st, but he is still going to be doing the shield runs all the way through September 11th. He's putting 2 of them, like August 5th, it's Vanar and then Arkenstone. So Vanar is at 2:30, Arkenstone's at 6.
So he's got a brand new job, and he's worked out a scheme where he can play video games for an hour a day with his brand new position. That's well done.
Exactly. Yep. I think these are his babies. So he wanted to finish his this, and then he the new CM has ideas and may want to do other stuff.
Mhm.
Did you guys see that Rick did a guest spot on Contains Moderate Peril this week? I haven't heard it yet, but Brax tweeted out that he was a guest on the show, which is kind of really interested in hearing what he had to say there.
I am too. I think Chris was going to try to talk to him before he left as well, to interview him as well. And he did tell us that he would be happy to come and talk to us about gaming and Extra Life and For the Kids and all that good stuff and Children's Miracle Network. So he'll be around. We'll hear him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just dropping off the face of the earth. He may pop in for Extra Life. You don't know.
It's true.
Yeah.
He'll be watching us for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll be watching. We don't know what we're doing for Extra Life this year. If you have ideas, send them to Chris, because usually we try to get a group of MMO reporter people going in the same game or something, and it usually needs to be a fairly low barrier to entry game.
I think you should play 24 straight hours of Dance Dance Revolution.
As long as I have a controller.
Oh, yeah. Full cardio.
Awesome. You're trying to kill me. Update 14.1 patch notes came out. They dropped, I don't know how drastically they've dropped the prices of things in Fangorn, but they have been dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a Pet Huorn, it is $375. I don't know what that was before. I'm going to go with $500. I don't know. I never looked.
I guess that's 20 to 30 straight days of grinding, probably.
Still a lot of grinding to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still a lot of grinding. They have, I know that they have reduced the. He used to say he has to ponder or think about something after you got done a bunch of quests.
Yeah.
And they cut that down to just a few seconds now instead of 18 hours.
Oh, that's right.
You could
So it's
probably just keep doing these quests and probably get them all done in a day, which is very cool.
There's your extra life.
What's that?
There's your extra life. You could grind Fangorn all day and have a Huorn when you're done.
Yeah.
No.
No. No.
I don't want a tree that bad. I don't want a tree at all.
Yeah. The let's see what else was there. The all right, Emma said here it comes. Incremental and resource instant quests can now be repeated for mithril coins. Also, the questing repeatables can be done 5 times a day, up from 1. So they're letting you burn through them a little faster if you would like.
Nice.
Yep. I didn't know this, but there are 2 versions of the Sturdy Steel Key. One that is bound per character and one that is not. They've changed the wording so you can tell them apart. And
I just need to find some loot boxes.
I talked to Layanor. He knows how to get those.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how he does it, but I think they're trying to give him pants, but...
You know a guy?
No. I know a guy that knows a guy who knows a girl.
I know a guy hangs out by the Swan Fountain down the Lemra.
Yeah, exactly.
Can find stuff.
Or is it the guy that's in Woodhall who's in the fountain drunk, playing in the water? Yeah. That's one of my favorite guys. I think it's
Want to buy
Woodhall.
Huorn?
We're talking about favorite NPCs in Bree.
No, okay. Who's your favorite NPC in Bree?
My favorite NPC in Bree, and it's very, very cool. She's in an alley, and I can't remember if she's by a tent or not, but she's just sitting down, and she looks like she's a warrior, like she's been through a whole lot. and she's just sitting there, and there's no quest with her. There's no nothing, no story or anything. It just looks like she's just been through a lot and is just in this back alley. I don't know why. It just looks like there's should be some big story about her, but there's nothing.
I think they're called Ladies of the Evening.
No. She's got armor and stuff.
Oh, okay. It's a tough town.
Yeah. She looks like she's come back from the battle and is just tired.
Yep.
Soon has arrived in the patch notes.
Yeah, there were people talking about soon has arrived. Like, what the heck does that mean? So I'm going to put my money down and say that soon has arrived on the pet that Sapience wanted to get into the game.
I think soon has arrived as in he's done.
Yeah, that's the way I took it too. I did hear a couple people speculating it might mean that there's some introduction to the game coming, but I think it's just meant to say, based on his forum post signature that the harbinger of soon is now here and he's leaving.
Yeah.
I think that's all there is to it.
Yep, I think so. Now, if there's anything else in the patch notes you guys want to talk about, I just pulled out stuff that was interesting to me. So the cost of all rewards and skirmish traits has been lower between 20 and 50%. Generally, the higher level rewards and traits have been seen the greatest cost reduction.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you can level up your dudes now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing I saw, and you would know about this, Layanor, is the nerfing of the defilers in the Ettenmoors. It's pretty huge because they've been quite OP for quite some time, from what I understand.
Yeah, even the defilers themselves were not using specific skills out there because they just kind of felt that they were too powerful. It kind of did balance things out. I mean, if there was a really good free parade, the creeps could fight it with just a couple, maybe 3 or 4 defilers, so they could get more classes in.
Oh.
But it was when you're out there, you're looking for an advantage, whatever advantage that you can get. So the creeps made a ton of defilers, and we were seeing defiler raids out there. So
that might be an indication
that needed to get nerfed down.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a teeny tiny bit. In Hobnanigans, the prices for the red chicken, Dorking chicken, Scrapper chicken, black chicken, and blue chicken, cosmetic pets, housing items, and cosmetics items have been changed. They didn't say how they were changed, but they have been changed, and the rare color-specific tokens alone can be used to barter for a corresponding item.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making it easier to get.
Chicken.
I have a shrew. That shrew is awesome. I'm happy with my shrew.
I do like. I've seen some pets where guys walking around where the chicken's name is Fried and it's a white chicken, so it's just fried white chicken.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Colonel.
Kentucky. The Kentucky, name of Kentucky. Those chickens are fast. I had a friend I was in game with her, and she's like, the chicken is keeping up with the stable horse. Please don't call phone support on August 8th in the U.S. It will be closed, but you can email them and send tickets the regular interwebs way. But their phone support is closed August 8th.
Yes. They're all having cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
maybe.
Go ahead.
I shouldn't say it. Celebrating employee departures.
Oh.
Could be.
It could be. They all could be going to the bar.
Yeah, they could be. They could be. I'm not going to say yay or nay. And that's just about it for the news. We did 3-mans last night with Rorg.
Sure did.
Yay!
I wanted to kill myself.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay, so we did GA, which is what, Garth?
Garwin.
Arwen.
B, Barrow. So we did the Garth Arwen Barrow, which is a level 32 instance, and of course we were done in 2.5 seconds. It's like, hi, Ivor. Yes, we'll finish the challenge mode. He died before anybody stood up. It was awesome.
Yep. We walked in, we walked out.
Yep. And we thought, oh, this is going to be great. We'll get done on time tonight. And then we decided to do challenge mode in the Inn of the Forsaken, which is one of the circles of hell. The Inn of the Forsaken in Tier 1 is not terrible. It's not the most fun thing on the planet. It's not terrible. On Tier 2, you might as well just stab your eyes. It's awful. And we had one of each of the classes you needed to do the traps and all that stuff. And it was... We won because all of us died and we're like, I'm not doing this quest fight again. This boss fight again. We're done. We're out of here.
Yep. So we declared victory.
Was it just the final boss fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Final boss fight.
But on Tier 2, you get bone piles.
Okay. It's been a while since I tried that on challenge mode, so I can't remember.
Yeah, it's
You have to remember to trigger the trap, so you guys knew all about that, right?
Yeah, we knew how to trigger. I told him how to trigger the trap. I was the Healy or damage, whatever the stone was. Mm-hmm. We got the main guy down fine, but once the ghost started pulling the bone piles out, we just couldn't keep up, and we were down.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was after I think I died. I know I repaired twice from dying from the swinging blade traps.
I know that instance used to give a lot of coin if you ran it solo, so people used to farm it for that. But I've never had much luck with any kind of. I like it because it's different. Obviously, who doesn't like a good water slide? But the rewards, I think, have always been kind of terrible, at least for me.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I thought, oh, well, I need some gold. They said I could run it solo, and I could get a gold. I didn't get a gold at the end.
Not anymore. I think they scaled it back a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, we were also frustrated that I tried to get everybody to cheer up when we did hit the water slide. I was like, whoa!
And we're like,
jump, everybody jump, and nobody said anything.
We're like, can we be? I wanted to be done like the 9th time I died at the blades, and then we get another maze of blades, and then we get a room with blades and bone piles, and then we get to the boss, and it's like, seriously?
Yep.
So needless to say, G.A. Barrows won. Because we don't want to ever do another Forsaken again.
Yes, GA Barrows, you go in, there's a lot of undead. The area is red, just like the other GA, whatever the name of that was. It is very cool the way it looks. And there is a little bit that we didn't do. What we did was we jumped up on the side, and that basically brings us really close to the boss. Mm-hmm. But there really isn't that much more.
Yeah.
I think what's her name is in there, the old lady.
Oh yeah. What's her? The one I went to. Don't never save. Yeah.
Yes. That woman, the woman who shall not be named. She's in there, and there's a little small bonus quest in the back, but we were just shooting through it, so we shot through it, and it's very short, looks cool. It sucks if you're looking for something, involving a good instance. Now, but yes, I'm totally voting for this because I'm not doing Inn of Forsaken again.
No, yeah, no. Now, if you're level 32, I remember doing this closer to on level with some friends, and it is fun, especially trying to do the challenge mode on it.
Yep.
Because it's tough to kill him but not kill any of the other stuff and stay alive. So
yep,
on level or close to level, it is tough. It is fun. It's pretty cool area. Got some pretty cool Bree type, old ruins and Barrow look. It's pretty awesome. All right, and that was our 3-mans. In community, Bards, Beards, and Longbeards just released a new video. They beat Peter Jackson out with the Battle of Five Armies in LotRO with music. It's pretty cool. One of the things that they managed to do, which just cracks me up every time, is they get the Moors to agree to let them go film. And they get Freeps and Creeps to behave themselves and do what Eggsel tells them to do. So you get some pretty cool shots of like armies of Creeps walking by and armies of Freeps fighting in slow motion and like not using everything to wipe everybody out, but like killing each other slowly for cinematics. So it's
Wow.
Yeah, he's managed to do that a couple of times. There is a YouTube channel, Bards, Beards, and Longbeards, it's pretty awesome. He's got they did Under the Mountain recently for Moria. You know, I've been in a few of them, and they're a hoot to have fun and video and stuff. And then the next thing is Shirefest on Crick Hollow is coming, August 15th through 17th. There's a link in the show notes. It's crickhollowmusic.guildlaunch.com, and it's like 3 days of stuff. So they're going to have bands. You're invited to their
3 days?
Yeah, it's the 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 3 days. So they're having bread and jam session at the Prancing Pony on Friday, Bounder Salute in Mickle Delving on Saturday at noon, and then on 11Z's at 11 a.m. on Sunday at the Bird and Baby. Yeah, Crick Hollow was known for doing 11Z's on, I want to say Tuesdays, and they do 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. server time. And that was like an RP event and stuff. So the bands are going to be announced very soon. But if you're on Crick Hollow, or it's all Lobby area, so make a character on Crick Hollow to go listen to it. That'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Indeed. Those crazy cryptsters.
Yep, they're pretty fun. That was my first server. And then I moved to Landreval, and then Layanor made me make a character on Brandywine, and
Brandywine.
just so I could do 3 bands, and yeah.
Yeah.
Go Villia.
Yes. Do I have a character on Villia?
No one ever talks about my server, so.
I don't know if I have a character on Villia or not. I got invited.
There's this one server that sounds so cool. It's like Raven Shadow or Storm Claw or something. It's like so cool sounding. Never hear anybody talk about it.
There's a couple of those, like Silverload or something, which
Silverload I've heard of.
Okay.
It's a Dutch RP server for Harry.
Oh yeah, he's over on Laurelin. Laurelin's the official RP server. Layanor, we have 3 letters.
I have 3 letters.
Kevin wrote us again. Hello, Kevin. How
many times has Kevin wrote us?
This is the 4th or 5th time.
5th?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call this one Kevin 5.
All right.
He's officially a stalker.
No, he's not. He's just very nice and likes to ask questions. And he has great ideas and thoughts, and we like having him write to us because he makes us think about things. He wants to know how we're enjoying Gondor. I love it. It's so cool. I really want Gondor hair and Gondor dresses, though. Turbine, please fix this. And he agrees with me that Dol Emerald is insanely beautiful. All right, he had a horrible, horrible nightmare happen the other day. He was playing the Deeping Wall with 12 of Winfola's, he's on Winfola, guys, finest warriors defending against hordes of Saruman's forces. The Eastern Tower had been saved to perfection, but now the culvert was under attack. And it bugged on them, and they got 18 out of 17 rocks, and it failed.
Oh.
18 out of 17.
18 out of 17, so he missed it would have been a full platinum run of the Deeping Wall had that not bugged on them. No, excuse me, it was 19 out of 18 rocks replaced, which caused the side quest to never finish. The other 2
Fudge.
Yeah.
Epic battle? Epic fail.
Yeah. He says
Wow.
he's never been so upset with this game at that very moment. I would be so upset too. I think I would rage quit for a little bit. Ratifax said Kevin 5 The Revenge. um, he says, on another note, with the news that we'll be able to level our legendary items with us now, he's heard that people feel that the current LI system is quote-unquote broken. Since he's never played any other MMO other than LotRO or any game similar to it, how exactly is it broken? Layanor?
Some people do feel that it's broken. Some people wish that the system was just yanked out of the game, and some people do like the system. So it just depends on who you're talking to. The main thing that they are talking about is it is a little bit over complex. I point out one of the main things of it is if you look at your legendary weapon, you have these weird rune-looking things, and I never knew what those were for like the first couple of years I played the game. It wasn't until later on, very close to, like 3 or 4 months after I started doing this show, where somebody in my kin told me those runes are the ranks of the legacy that is on your weapon, which I already knew, but you have to count the strokes on it.
Yeah.
So if there's 3 strokes, that is rank 3. If it's the key-looking one, which is a square and then
That's 5. That's 5.
a line down, that's 5. And I was like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that just do not know that as well, and they look at these things and they're like, I'll just level this for a while and break it.
Yeah.
And then you find out, and this was before I learned about those, but I didn't know that you could get scrolls to rank up those legacies. I was like, wow, I didn't know that either. So there's a lot of complexity, a lot of complex things for this, especially when you start adding in the Starlit Crystal stuff, the scrolls that add another 10 levels to it. And it is very complex, and people just don't really get it in the beginning, and a lot of people don't get it later on as well.
Yeah. Braag, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, the damage type scrolls too, and I think when they added it, the whole melding of shards is something that's not intuitive at all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just hit
people
auto
don't bother
combine.
melding shards to get the best relics on the weapon that you can. So I mean, I like the system because I understand it now. But I think Turbine has a track record of releasing systems where they kind of give an overview of it, but you really have to wait for the player guide to really understand it.
Yeah, yeah. I've really been wanting somebody over at the LotRO interface to reskin the legacy panel, just so we can get those runes into numbers and change things around a little bit to make it look a little more friendlier, because the system isn't friendly.
If you hover over it, it will tell you whether it's a major or minor legacy and what level it is.
Oh God, that's another whole thing.
Yeah. Major legacies are better.
Is it a major or a minor for your main, or is it a major or minor for your secondary?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Braag.
The complexity is part of the broken, and I think the biggest complaint other people have is that they keep having, every time the level cap goes up, at least in the past, they would have had to have deconstruct it and start from scratch. And if you have a number of alts that are at level, and some characters that might need multiple sets of LIs depending on how they're traded, for healing, for damage, for group, captain buff sticks and all that stuff. I mean, you could spend literally, an hour and a half, 2 hours reconstructing a new weapon. That's game time where you could be playing. So, to get it all polished and up to the best of its possible ability. So I think that's the other biggest complaint that I've heard. That's been addressed now. We'll see if the correction they've come out with is really going to alleviate that, or if it's still going to be somewhat of an issue.
Yeah. And I was said major has gold borders and minor have silver borders.
Yep.
So.
Yep, that too. Yep.
Yeah. So Kevin, the best guide that I ever found that was like, Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Are actually the LotRO Academy series that they did probably 2.5 years ago now. So don't pay any attention to the, well, for Cappies you need X, Y, and Z. But if you really would like to know more about this, listen to it because they explain, well, if you get to level 32 on it, you break it, you'll get scrolls and other legacies, so you can pull legacies off of things. It was really helpful for me to listen to. I think it turned into like 4 episodes.
It was just 2 actually.
Was it
And
just 2? I swear it was
Gary,
more than that.
Well, there was
you make,
another guy too that showed up on LotRO Players as well, where it was all written out, and it was updated, which was a really good thing.
Well, this just gives you the general overview of how it works, why you would want to do this, that kind of thing.
Right.
Gary, you make me happy saying that. You know why?
You were on there, weren't you? You were on there.
I was on that show, and I actually wrote the outline for the episodes for Brax Wolf. He asked the community if anyone wanted to come on and help him define out all the areas, and so I did that show with Pine Leaf and Tomeric was on. Yes,
Yeah.
So the 3 of us were guest hosts, and so I remember it as 2 episodes. He might have split it into more, but
I think he got Pine Leaf like a little bit later to go a little bit more in depth about some of the stuff that may not be as applicable as those 2 major episodes were.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the concepts in there are still applicable. There might be, as new regions came out, there might have been new levels that were added on top, but I think all the information on there is still pretty accurate.
Yeah. I think they don't think they've added any particular type of damage scrolls. They just added levels to it. So I highly recommend them to anybody who's like confused. All right, and then he has asked a question that is near and dear to my heart. Do you have an outfit you choose to wear, or do you just let whatever you have equipped be your look? Never, ever, ever do I let what I have equipped be my look. Ever. I have every cosmetic outfit slot unlocked, and there are outfits in every one of them, and I will go in about every 3 or 4 weeks and switch them all out again. If I'm going to be in a cold region, I want to make sure I have a nice furry cloak and, warm clothes, and I have my favorite battle outfit that I love that's over on my other character in Landerville. So, yes.
How many outfits do you own, Layanor?
What?
How many outfits do you own?
All? All my slots are filled. I'm not going to go into it.
No, I meant personally.
Personally, yeah.
Just kidding.
I am known to be a fashion bug at times. My cosmetic thing is maxed out. And it's not because of all the cloaks from festivals either, which a lot of people just keep.
No.
There is a lot of heavy armor gear that I like to grab, especially a lot of the Angmar stuff that dies really well. Not the stuff that they put into the skirmish camps, the actual Angmar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, I'll switch that stuff out. So yeah, I have quite a bit.
Yeah, my favorite piece is actually I think it's from Angmar, or no, it's from Markwood, the Loremaster shoulders. That big curving spider webby. Those are my favorite.
I have those on an outfit, I think.
Yeah, they look fantastic. There's with the robe and then the hat of the concerned elf. Dye those all the same color, and you're like, you got an amazing outfit.
I tend to have outfits for specific purposes. So I have one for when I'm in Moria, underground and in my home. I've got one for festivals, one for cold weather regions, one's for when I need to be regal in front of the king or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of purpose driven for the most part.
Yep.
Oh, and one for deed grinding, where I put on my blue collar outfit for deed grinding.
Okay, good grinding. Now, do you have the shirtless dwarf from the store?
No, I'm not a big fan of the shirtless dwarf. If other people want to do it, yeah, it's okay. But if it makes Turbine some money, fine. Not my thing.
Yeah. Well, again, Kevin, thank you for your letter. They're awesome. You do make us think, and you give us discussions.
Kevin 5,
the revenge. No. He's going to have revenge on the Deeping Wall if he has anything to say about it. We got a letter from Cam Gilnell. I mean, I know I didn't say it right, but that's okay. Just wanted
Probably
to
soft G.
Cam.
Gilly Nelly. Done.
Just wanted to say your podcasts make the 14-hour flight from Atlanta to Seoul gives me something to look forward in game. We go
14 hours.
international,
Holy cow.
yeah. So much
Wow.
talk about brandy convinced me to transfer from Silverload about a year ago. Well, welcome to Brandywine.
Yay! Message me. I'll say hi.
Yes, he's Layanor in game.
Yes.
Yes. We have a Facebook message from T. James. I am a big LotRO fan and have played since release, but only recently have I learned of the LotRO Reporter and MMO Reporter Network. Hi. Welcome.
What's up? What's going on?
He's been power listening to all the podcasts since number 1. Poor man.
Whoa, that's a lot of sad Hobbit skits he had to listen to.
However, he is unable to locate episodes 96 through 140-ish. Somehow they went poof, and the MP3 links disappeared. We have the files. I will be going through and working on getting those up. So those of you who might be power listening to our shows from episode 1 or episode 96, we'll get them fixed for you.
So Layanor, you need a LotRO Reporter power listening guide to go along with your power leveling guide. You know.
Yeah,
you
get
talk
working,
about-
Carrie. Get those shows up.
We do have the archives available from 1 to 95. They're on an archive page, just the links to the shows, except for I think episode 40, which is just gone. We don't have it. Nobody's got it. We can't find it. So if you actually have like I think it's episode 40, if you for some reason still have it like downloaded in your podcatcher or something, let me know and send it to me because nobody else here has it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Layanor, tell us about our awesome sponsors.
If you're looking for a new PC, then check out doghousesystems.com and use the coupon code MMOReporter to double your RAM. And if you're looking for a new audiobook for 18 hours worth of airplane trips, then go to audible.com/MMOReporter to get 1 month free of 1 credit book audio thing.
Yes. We just. So you get 1 month free, which is and the plan that you sign up for is the silver plan. I think that's what they call it, and you get 1 credit a month. And if you take a look around at them, they're linked to Amazon, of course, and you can take a look and see that you're actually getting a pretty good deal for $14.95 a month for a free audiobook when they usually go for close to $30 if you purchase them outside of Audible. And I think we decided what Game of Thrones was the first one, what Song of Ice and Fire, I think is what it's called, is like 30 some hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty big. I'm sure it is up there. It was pretty big.
Yeah.
It is big, huh?
Yeah.
It is big.
It is big.
It is big.
One of them I found so interesting. I haven't actually listened to it. I bought it for my husband. Is the World War Z one?
Oh yes.
And that is actually voiced. It is
Yes.
not just a narrator reading. It's actually a voice cast reading. And
Wow.
he said
Yeah,
it was
they
really
have
good.
a cast. Yep.
Yep.
Another book I'd like to recommend. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one, but it's a very old book. Later on, the RPG Shadowrun was based on it, and it's called Snow Crash.
Oh.
So if you guys could, if you like cyberpunk stuff where the future is kind of dark and there's a lot of hackers going around and a lot of corporate espionage stuff going on and lots of clever characters, pizza drivers that are awesome with katanas, check out that book. It is very, very cool.
That's awesome. We also have our Patreon drive going.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/MMOReporter. We're up to $66 a month.
Awesome.
If we get $100, we will have another song from Harry.
That's right.
Yeah.
That money is going directly into the network to help us out, and
Yep.
we're hoping to build that up so we can actually get some of the staff paid. We can upgrade some of the software and stuff that we have. I think I think Chris was even talking about helping us out with our mics and stuff too, and just actually getting some funding into the network, which would be absolutely awesome. And then we're planning on going into stuff like PAX, so we can bring a whole lot of information and stuff to you guys when we get there and give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing interviews again. Woohoo! And recording all kinds of panels, and Chris has already got the Google Calendar up and going. We have one interview already. We'll talk about that after our contact information. So if you would like to send us letters or contact us, you can email us at lotro.reporter@gmail.com, as Kevin does, and as many other people do. We do so enjoy getting those emails. I'm really excited when I see them come through and they say the word LotRO in them. It's like, yay! You can follow us on Twitter at LotRO Reporter. I was randomly tweeting the other night about how I lost the dwarf races. You can check us out on Facebook as, just like T. James did, at just search for LotRO Reporter. You can always leave us a voicemail at 616-666-6778 or use the widget on the right-hand side of your screen when you visit the site. Just click it, talk into your mic, and then send it to us. We are on YouTube. You do want to be sure to subscribe to that, youtube.com/user/MMO Reporter Network, especially this time of year, because PAX is coming and Chris gets the most awesome, best, fun interviews ever. And then you get to also see all of us get more and more tired as the week goes on with the evening clips that he puts up.
And possibly drunk.
Yeah, Thursday night's clip will probably be possibly drunk. The rest of the clips, maybe not so much.
Possibly.
Yeah, the LotRO Reporter party, or MMO Network party, is Thursday night before PAX starts. It's going to be at the usual place, which they changed the name of the hotel. It is not the Red Lion anymore. It is the Madoff or something, or Madoff. Anyway, it's at the pub there. We have a room, and we just have a whole bunch of fun.
Friends Don't Let Friends podcast drunk.
Yes, this is not a good thing. Or video cast. Yeah. Take a look.
That's not what I was taught.
No, it's...
I guess my beer's empty, so.
Yeah. It is empty. So you can check us out on LotRoReporter.com, and you can follow us at twitch.tv/MMOReporter, where you can find out all kinds of stuff that we're streaming and having a good time and dying horribly and saying bad words. That was Layanor. That was Layanor. I didn't do it.
Yeah, she didn't do it.
It was Layanor.
Yeah, you can go over to Twitch and actually listen to the pre-shows and a lot of the times the end shows of all the podcasts as well. So if you want a little bit of extra information and more cussing, go ahead and check out the shows there too.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at the Cari Mac. It's TheCariMac. Layanor, how can they follow you on Twitter?
You could twit me at Layanor, Layanor. Twit me, and I'll do something.
Yeah, he might follow you, but probably not. You followed me like 3 times in the last week, Layanor.
I wondered if you'd notice.
I did notice.
Again, a stalker.
Yeah. And then, Bragg, how can they find you on Twitter?
I've got a Twitter account at Braag Son of Balin. That's Bragg with 2 A's. The second A stands for anxiety. And if you twit me, I'll twit Layanor.
Okay, sounds good. And then if they want to find your podcast, they can find it on iTunes, Light the Beacons, or lightthebeacons.com, correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
Would love to have some more listeners and some more folks chiming in. Really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody go check out that show. It is awesome.
It's really cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for downloading the podcast. And as always, we hope to see you in game.
Okay, so we're playing the chat room game.
Oh, we are we? Let's see if I can do
If
my best news reporter.
if people haven't read the chat, we still have about 8 people. What we're doing is, if you type something in chat right now, we will say it on live on the air in a funny voice. So give us your sentences, and we'll do it. And Bragg is writing things in.
Let's see.
So are you doing this one, or should I do the first one?
I will. The first one is I can do this one. This has been Naked LotRO Reporter.
That was not the first one.
It's not
Oh,
a funny voice either.
That's true. The first one is, oh my god.
Oh my god. This has been LotRO Reporter. Please don't put that in there.
Carrie loved the game.
Bragg, take the one that Mama just said. Died in the water. Take that one.
Died in the water around Tolfennis, and it killed me on revival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, Carrie, just grab one and say it funny.
My brain is gone. Okay, thank you. La 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 la. Okay. And this is CNN.
Join me, and together we will rule the galaxy as father and sonny.
That's exactly the accent I was hoping you'd go for.
I
think we're done.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna go. Okay, good night, chat room. We'll see you next week.